Yeah, don't see them playing this week.
Have you seen the progress that if you guys were to win, would they be able to play potentially in the final game?
Really, I just focus on this week, and then we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
I guess what about Hayden Hurst?
Hayden's feeling good.
Okay, what happened yesterday that led him to be limited?
Just precautionary.
Okay, and I guess did you guys kind of also kind of treat him the same way, kind of maybe kind of manage him throughout practice today? How did that go?
I thought he had a great practice today.
How tough is that for Alex and Jonah to get to this far in the season, this moment, and then can't sort of be as involved obviously as they want to play?
I'm sure it's tough. They work hard. They work as hard as anybody we got on the team to put themselves in a great position. It's part of football, and they understand that, and they're doing everything they can to get back on the field.
Tre Flowers back on Sunday?
Trey had a good day today.
Have you had any? I mean, there's been a lot of talk about how the offensive line and kind of what that makeup's going to look like come Sunday. I mean, how good do you feel about that unit, given especially what they played like against Buffalo?
I feel good. They've prepared all season. Frank's done a great job making sure everybody stays ready. He continues to do that with everybody that's on the roster there. And so it's for times like these when you're going to have to pull from your depth, and so far those guys have stepped up to the challenge.
Do you guys as staff give them any kind of different messaging as you go and when they got to step up in those kind of roles? Or you just
No.
say, hey, you guys have been here, you know what to do?
Yeah.
Like on Wednesday, Brian mentioned the throw that Joe made to Jamar that got reversed. It was like one of his favorite throws that Joe's ever made.
Yeah.
Is there like a player throw that Joe's made that comes to your mind as like that's kind of like my favorite Joe Burrow throw?
Yeah, the one against the Titans a couple years ago, the anticipation to TB, I thought that was a great one. He's made a lot of great throws at this point where it's like calling out your favorite child. There's a lot of great throws he's made, and his accuracy. The one to TB was not easy. The one of those early completions in the game the other day on the kind of the sail route on their sidelines in the elements that early in the game. It was relatively tight coverage. That's not an easy one. It's not the best throw he's ever made, but considering the conditions early in the game, I thought that was a great throw versus relatively tight man coverage as well.
And all those throws are like your children. Do those tend to be more like expressions of his physical talent or his like mental processing?
Both combined. His accuracy, his being able to put himself in a position to make those throws physically, but also understanding the timing and what the defense is in and where that ball location needs to be. There's plenty of times quarterbacks throw balls that are perceived to be inaccurate when they're behind somebody, but really they're just trying to protect him from a defender. And Joe does a great job of communicating that really beforehand and trying to envision what those looks are going to be and where that ball might be, and then actually executing it in the game.
The one in Boyd, you said against Tennessee. What made that one special?
The anticipation. Yeah, the anticipation and just understanding where he was going to pull out of the route and putting the ball right where it needed to be.
Was that the playoff game or?
No, that was a 2020 game. Yeah.
When he goes to his left, I mean, most quarterbacks, right-handed quarterbacks, when they move, try to take the right side away,
Yeah.
moves to the left. He's equally proficient, isn't he? I mean, is he as good as you've seen moving to his left hand?
Yeah, he works on that. This traditionally routes on air, quarterbacks take their gun 3 or their gun 5 and they deliver the ball, and he works on moving in the pocket and trying to envision a situation where he's got to move around. You'd be better off asking him, but just the way I see him work on air to prepare for throws like the one he had to Jamar on really just a flat double slant, and Jamar broke it off, and Joe was in a great position to deliver the throw to him on the move to his left. So he works on that endlessly. He doesn't wait till an 11-on-11 rep where the pocket actually makes him do that. He does it on air and tries to simulate it in his mind.
Does the staff have any superstitions that they've started during this winning streak years? It's coaching staff.
No, I don't think so. No.
Last year in the AFC title game, you throw a 2-point conversion to Trent in the Super Bowl. Joe Mixon throws a touchdown pass. How do you balance aggressiveness with your play calling in these huge games?
We always want to stay aggressive, and that's our mindset in all the games we played this year. We don't try to be consumed by the moment, and man, this is a big call that's going to be criticized if it doesn't. That doesn't factor into our thought process at all. It's what have we designed to win in this situation, and you usually got a feel for where you want to make a call, and our guys get excited when those moments come, and they deliver for us.
Back in December, Zach, what do you remember about McKinnon and
Pacheco and how dangerous they were. They obviously gained a lot of yards in that contest.
Yeah, they do a great job. They're explosive. You know, they're a really good player. They're a really good backfield. And Clyde Edwards, they got a lot of good backs. They've always done a good job of getting the guys that fit the system really well and then maximizing their production. And I've always thought they did that with their running backs.
If y'all win this game, what's going to be the key thing that kind of brings out victory?
Well, winning the turnover battle is always critical in these games like this, and field position, turnover battle, handling whatever elements come our way. I think those are all big factors in winning the game.
Elements, you mean like just like weather?
Yeah, whatever that may be.
So this might be stupid, but I think there's a way to answer it without betraying your plan. Has the status of Mahomes' ankle influenced your preparation at all this week?
No, we assume that we're getting the best Patrick Mahomes, and I'm sure he's doing everything in his power to get in that position.
With everything you guys do on defense, can you describe Vaughn's role and just how central he is to that?
He's got to be great in coverage. He's got to be a great tackler. He's got to be a great communicator. He's got to be a great blitzer. He's got to be great in zone. Sometimes he's in man, and he just does a great job doing it all. Understanding how he fits in, understanding why his leadership is so critical. You know, he really leads from the front, challenges those guys. He's the first to the party in a lot of those tackles. And, you know, he's just so disciplined and such a perfectionist that, you know, that's why I've got so much respect for him. Same guy every day, first guy in, every morning with Joey. Keeps his routine. Whether we get back at 2 in the morning or 3 in the morning, he's in there at 6 a.m. lifting with Joey. And I feel bad for Joey sometimes having to deal with that. But he'll willingly do it for any player that's willing to keep that routine and keep that consistency. I think that's huge for young guys to see what Von Bell is all about and why he's been as successful as he's been at every level he's played. Top recruit, Ohio State, all those great Saints teams, all these great Bengals teams he's been on. It's no surprise that he's on all those teams, and all those teams happen to be great. They're not because he joins great teams necessarily, but he's helped all those teams be great because of who he is.
Speaking of kind of Joey a little bit and kind of the way y'all kind of structure things, y'all played in the longest season last year, back in the AFC title game. It seems like you haven't had a lot of soft tissue injuries over the course of, you know, even this late in the year. Why has that been the case?
We work our tails off to make sure that we're on top of all that, and that starts with Joey and Matt Summers and Garrett Swanson and Todd Hunt. They do a great job with the sports science things. You see Garrett every day. He's tracking on the computers, the GPSs. And, you know, watching Logan yesterday, before we even got started, was trying to hit his, you know, he hit, I think, 19 miles an hour, 18 miles an hour maybe, on a sprints to get going. So we're making sure that they're hitting their sprints before practice starts and their top speed so they don't lose it. At the same time, monitoring the yardage that these guys are doing all practice. And so Joey's in constant communication on this guy's gotten too much. He's on the verge of getting too much. We pulled Jamar and T out of the Super Bowl practice last year on Thursday because they'd hit their max, and we wanted them to be fresh on Sunday. And so I think he does a great job of that. We've tried our best to orchestrate our training camp practices around the soft tissue stuff, trying to avoid all those injuries and make sure we get through training camp with the physical work we need and make sure our guys are healthy and that they're not nagging injuries going into the season. So I just think that that's part of the staff. You know, Joey and his staff, Matt Summers and his staff have done a great job coordinating together, formulating a plan, being diligent every single week, and not just, all right, it's January, what happens, what happens. They stay on top of it. Even yesterday, Joey's putting the numbers on my desk and talking about guys. And so that's a big part of the time and energy we put into making sure that we can avoid as many of those injuries as possible.
Is there any guy's number that just jumps off at you? Is there any guy that has when Joey gives you those numbers, he just
Trent Irwin's usually up there pretty good, you know, because he's got to run the scout team stuff and take some of the other reps. And he's on all the special team stuff, so his number's usually through the roof.
How are the maxes, not to exceed a max, how are the maxes determined? Is it an average of what that player's done over a long period of time?
Yeah, so
Is it based on position group and all? Or?
It's based on the data we've gotten over really 3 years now. A Thursday compared to a Thursday, a Wednesday compared to a Wednesday. You know, and so again, that's information Joey's always given me about how much work certain guys need to get in, and we need to monitor them. And I think that's the guys have bought in and understand it and believe in it because it's shown to help us get to this point. And that's a big part of is explaining to them the intent and why we do things, and that leads to buy-in and the belief, and then it's helped us get to where we are today.
You talked earlier in the week about how it seems like some guys live here, hearing what's going on the other side of the wall right now. Are they done for the day? Or are they free to
They've
go?
been done for the day, and yeah, they're in there. I saw Cordell and Ted eating lunch together. They got an extra lift. Some guys on Friday get in their Flex Friday. They got their T-shirts made, and they get in there and get an extra lift, and then guys just hang out in the locker room till Sunday. That's what it feels like.
They can go once practice is over, right?
Yeah, they're done. Yep.
Have you ever played ping pong in there?
I've never played ping pong in there. I would kill everybody, though.
Does this team have more gym rats than you've ever had on any team?
Yeah. This is the closest team I've ever been a part of.